Central Minnesota Sports Hub. It's the Morning Sports Desk, presented by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and streaming on YouTube.
It is the Morning Sports Desk, powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. I'm CJ Baumgartner, and we got a lot to talk about, including a local cross-country coach who's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's pretty cool, along with an amateur hour 4th of July update and broadcast schedule update. All of that good stuff coming up on the Morning Sports Desk, powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. And before we get any further, we do need to talk about the good folks at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade, because they will be open this 4th of July. What's better than celebrating our great country's freedoms than with great pizza and a good time at the FunZone Arcade? It's going to be hot, maybe even a little rain on the 4th of July, but you know what has perfect conditions? The Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. You go in there, you get the buffet, the country's best chicken, the mashed potatoes, the pizza. I'm always a Canadian bacon guy, but their Bronco pizza, so good. You get the bacon with the pepperonis, the sausage, all the works. It's great. The cheese bread is awesome. Their desserts are great. Salad bar is great. Everything's great at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. And then, of course, you can go play at the FunZone Arcade and have a chance to win a bunch of cool prizes, including like coolers or things that you can bring to the lake, speakers, all that great stuff. Power tools are up there. I mean, they have such a great prize list. You wouldn't believe some of the things they have up there, including mystery signed jerseys that you can unbox. There's the way to say it. Like when we unboxed a Wade Boggs autographed Boston Red Sox jersey here on the Morning Sports Desk in April. That was so cool. And it'd be so cool if we could do it again. So it's a lot of great stuff happening there at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. You can follow them on Facebook, download the Pizza Ranch app, follow them on the web as well, where you can order online, track your ranch rewards online or through the app. It's really, really great. The Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade, proud sponsors of the Morning Sports Desk, and they'll be open on July 4th from 10:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. All right, so here we go. Diving into our local sports scene, we do have an update on a cross-country coach who's getting a really, really cool honor. So over in, whatever the best way to say it, Perham is the place to be for cross-country. They've been a cross-country hub for a really long time, and that has started with head coach Jeff Morris, and he's getting inducted into the Minnesota Cross Country Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Here's what the Perham School put out earlier this week to let everybody know what's going on, is that on July 20th at 4 o'clock, Coach Morris will be inducted into the Minnesota Cross Country Coaches Association Hall of Fame. So cool. Here's a quote from Coach Morris. He said, "When I found out I was being inducted into the Hall of Fame, I was completely overwhelmed. It was such a powerful mix of emotions, excitement, gratitude, and deep humility. To be recognized in this way alongside with so many individuals I respect and admire is truly an honor. It made me reflect on all the people who have supported me along the way and the journey that brought me here. It's something I will never forget." And by the way, this induction into the Minnesota Cross Country Coaches Association Hall of Fame, it just comes a year after he was named the National High School Athletic Coaches Association Coach of the Year. Yeah, the trophy's just stacking up for Coach Jeff Morris and the Perham Yellow Jacket Cross Country program. Obviously, he's been running that cross country program for 23 of the last 25 years. And just really, really cool. And as a side note, those 2 years that he wasn't coaching up in Perham, he was also coaching at Western Harnett High School in North Carolina, kind of prior to his tenure in Perham. But of course, over his time with the Yellow Jackets, he was named the State Coach of the Year in 2003 and 2012, named Section Coach of the Year 14 times in boys and girls cross country, and has coached the Yellow Jacket boys to 8 state championships and the girls to 5 appearances, while the boys have made 22 state tournament appearances. And he's also coached 4 individual state champions in cross country, as well as the national Nike cross country qualifier, which is just such a cool thing. Perham cross country, I've heard it all the time. When Perham's at a race, people groan. They're like, oh, geez, Perham's here. We're going to have to deal with them. And they've just done such a great job over the last now quarter century developing such a great program for Perham cross country. It's really cool to see Coach Morris get his flowers, because I'm sure, obviously, like the quote said, if you talk to him, he'll probably just tell you, it's all the runners and it's the things they do. Whatever. As every good coach around here will say, it's the players that make it work. And they're right. But somebody's got to be the one to put the players in the positions to succeed, to train them, to give them kind of that pathway forward. And then they do with it what they can. And Coach Morris has done that again, 23 out of the last 25 years, coaching the Perham Yellow Jackets cross-country program, all the state tournament appearances, the state champions, everything that they have starts with him and the things that him and his staff have been able to do and the athletes have been able to do over the years. So just a really, really cool honor for Coach Morris. The Hall of Fame induction ceremony takes place on Sunday, July 20th. It's open to the public. It begins at 4 p.m. at the Grand Event Center in Northfield, Minnesota. Congratulations to Coach Jeff Morris, who will now be a Minnesota Cross Country Coaches Association Hall of Famer later this month. All right, let's talk a little amateur baseball now, because, of course, it's the 4th of July weekend. And, I mean, honestly, what's more American than baseball? Nothing. You can say McDonald's, you can say hamburgers, you can say apple pie, you could say fireworks, you could say guns, you could say Walmart. I don't know. There's a lot of things you could say, but nothing is more American than baseball. It's great. It's the best. We all love it. And it's just another great week to remind you about Amateur Hour, not only about going to WadenaRadio.com, the Superstation K106 mobile app, where you can check out kind of the full write-up of Amateur Hour like I have shown on the screen. It's why you should watch on YouTube to get all of the latest on what's going on. But also, to remind you about Amateur Hour's Town Ball Tour 2025, which is coming up again tomorrow. That's Thursday evening, 7:15 pregame, 7:30 first pitch. Bluffton at New York Mills, a heavyweight in the high 10 between the Millers and the Braves. Kyle Gilsine on the call on the Superstation K106 105.9 FM. Also streaming online at WadenaRadio.com or the Superstation K106 mobile app. There'll be fireworks on and off the field because mainly they're going to be doing some post-game fireworks there at Russ Jacobson Field at Smith Park in New York Mills. It's going to be a great game. Kyle Gilsine on the call, 7:15 pregame, 7:30 first pitch on the Superstation K106. And we also have Midway at New York Mills coming up next Wednesday. You can find the full write-up and full broadcast schedule for Amateur Hour Town Ball Tour 2025 at WadenaRadio.com, Superstation K106 mobile app, or by following Sports Cow on Facebook. Let's take a look at the 4th of July festivities that are happening here throughout this week. Starting tonight, Deer Creek is hosting Dent at Elmer Becker Field, 7:30 p.m. first pitch. Same for the Detroit Lakes Ligers as they travel along Highway 2 to the Foston Trash Pandas. The Ligers and the Trash Pandas. I can't say there is, I mean, besides these two teams playing, there has never, ever been a matchup between the Ligers and the Trash Pandas, right? Right? Two teams in the Red River Amateur Baseball League. They're matched up at Thompson Field in Foston for that one. On Thursday, July 3rd, Bluffton at New York Mills. Of course, as we talked about with the classic 4th of July matchup between these two teams, we'll have it on the air in the Superstation K106. Then Clarissa at Henning tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. first pitch for both of those games. Only one game in the local schedule for Friday, July 4th. It's Midway at Perham. These two teams always play on the 4th of July, or at least in recent memory. It feels like these two teams love to match up on the 4th. 8 o'clock first pitch from Tuffy Stadium at Al Kruger Field. The lone game, a high 10 Lake and Pine clash. Post-game fireworks. Of course. On Saturday, July 5th, the Kensington Norsemen at the Ashby A's in a Resorters League matchup that starts at 7 o'clock from the ball field in Evansville. The Dilworth Rail Dogs go to visit the Detroit Lakes Ligers. That's a 7 p.m. first pitch there. Sunday, July 6th, the triple header of action, Burbank at Sauk Center, 1 o'clock first pitch there. Long Prairie at Carlos, 1:30 p.m. first pitch as the Predators and the Cougars clash at Fireman's Field in Carlos, or is it Carlos? Honestly, I never tell, and I'm too embarrassed at this point to ask. I've only lived in this area my entire life. You'd think I know how to say it. So if somebody wants to correct me, that'd be great. Sabika at Henning as well, 3 o'clock first pitch Sunday afternoon. And remember, if you're a player, coach, or fan, we want your help. Call 218-631-1804 and leave a message on our voicemail with your favorite team's score and or any notable achievements for a chance to be featured in the segment. Just really, really cool. We want you to be a part of this amateur hour as well. I can't wait to talk with Kyle next week about his game and all the things that are going on between New York Mills and Bluffton tomorrow night. It's going to be such a great game. Coach Hendricks and as well as Coach Geiser and Dykhoff do such a great job with their respective teams. I can't wait to see how things are going to shake out tomorrow night. All right, that's going to do it for me. This is another edition of Amateur Hour, another edition of the Morning Sports Desk, powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. Have a happy and safe 4th. I'll see you next week.
Powered by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Follow the Morning Sports Desk on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And watch every show on YouTube.